Greetings from yesterday. Although this story starts yesterday for me, so 2 days ago for you. You see, yesterday Charlie was working in London, and usually the travel back from London to where we live is relatively straightforward. It takes about an hour and a half to 2 hours on the train, but for various reasons she had to come back a different way, which meant the journey took a hell of a lot longer for her. Now obviously a long day working in London followed by a long trip home, which ends up taking far longer than you actually think it's going to take, isn't ideal, but Charlie just got on with it. You know, there's a lot worse things going on, and she just thought, right, well, I've just got to get home, so this is what I got to do. Unfortunately, the new route took her quite far out of the way. It ended up taking her all the way into Manchester, which isn't where we live. When it dawned on me just how late Charlie would be getting home if she'd be travelling back via Manchester, I hatched a plan for us to be reunited sooner. What if I got a train into Manchester and met her there, and we can have some dinner out in Manchester and then travel back home together? In other words, it was just making the best out of a less than ideal situation. Yes, Charlie had to travel for much longer and further than she usually would, but we got to meet up, go out for dinner, and obviously we got home a lot later than we intended to. When we were travelling back home on the train from Manchester, I looked at my watch and I realised I would normally be in bed at this time, and I started to wonder if maybe we'd made the wrong decision. Were we going to suffer today for being really tired, for me going to Manchester and us going for the meal out? And then we got off the train and something magical happened.
It's snowing, Charlie.
I know.
It started snowing, like a lot. And when I say snowing a lot, I really mean it. It was big, thick, heavy chunks coming down thick and fast.
How do you feel about the fact that it's snowing?
Yeah, it's good.
It's really good, isn't it?
And as Charlie and I were stood there watching the snow completely change the landscape in front of us, I couldn't help but think about the fact that this wasn't meant to happen. We were meant to be in bed. We wouldn't have normally seen this. And this was sort of crystallized by the fact that we were the only people out there. It seemed like we were the only people who knew that this was going on.
This is ridiculous. It is really snowing. Look at that.
This is mad.
I get so giddy in the snow. Why does snow make me so giddy?
I don't know what it is about snow that gets me so excited. I think it's because here in Britain, we don't see it all that often. If you're Canadian watching this now, or if you live in the mountains or in a cold part of the world, you're thinking, so bloody what? It snows here all the time. But it doesn't here. It feels like an actual momentous occasion. And for me, it's just beautiful. Naturally, like an excited, giddy kid, in the morning, I ran to the window, opened the blinds to see how much it had snowed overnight. In all honesty, it wasn't that much more than what Charlie and I had witnessed the night before, but the sky was doing really cool stuff. And at the time when Charlie and I would normally do some sort of workout, I said to Charlie, no, let's not work out, let's go out for a walk in the snow. Now here's a bit of a confession, although it may not come as a surprise for some of you. I absolutely adore the cold. I can't explain it. I get way more excited by a particularly cold day than I do a particularly hot day. And let's be frank, that's probably quite obvious for anyone who has seen any of my skiing content over the years, but there's just something about walking on fresh snow crunching beneath your feet, which I just find so immensely satisfying and so immensely pleasurable. It just seems to make everything sort of prettier and calmer. It even made this lorry look prettier. As Charlie and I were walking around and looking at the snowy scenery, I couldn't help but think this snow isn't going to last. Snow in the UK is here one moment and gone the next. So I want to enjoy this as much as I possibly can. There was something about the calmness of the snow, coupled with the fact that it was so unexpected, that just made the morning really relaxing. I'm always tempted to look at things reflectively and add meaning to things. Like right now, I want to say that although we didn't expect this situation, we made the most of it. But at the same time, I think I just really like snow.
I don't think I can get over how pretty it is this morning. I mean, look at this. We're stepping onto a snowy bridge with like thick snow on top of the walls, and then you look down and you can see the river flowing through. Like, look how pretty that is this morning. That's unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
And that's what you get with this channel. Last week I was ranting about how people drive, and today I'm talking about how much I love snow. As I'm looking out the window just behind the camera right now, I can see the snow is melting away. I know it's not going to be here tomorrow, but I'm just glad it was here today. And I do know what will be here tomorrow, and that's me here talking to you. So I'll see you then, and until then, don't be a dick.